What's up, everyone? Ever found yourself staring at a musical instrument and thinking, I wonder what it would be like to slide down that thing? Well, you're not alone, because today we're ranking the top 10 instruments to slide on. And trust me, some of these choices are going to blow your mind while others might literally break your spine. Before we dive in, let me set some ground rules here. We're talking about sliding down these instruments in their natural position. No flipping or rotating allowed. Safety is completely optional, and style points definitely count. Also, I've done the math on angles, curves, and structural integrity so you don't have to. You're welcome. Starting off our list at number 10, we have the harp. Now, I know what you're thinking. This looks like a medieval torture device, and honestly, you're not wrong. The harp presents you with about 47 different string obstacles that will slice you up like a deli counter. You start at the top thinking this might be elegant and classical, but halfway down you realize you're getting turned into human confetti. The only reason this even makes the list is because technically you could slide down the frame itself, but good luck avoiding those strings. It's like trying to slide down a cheese grater that also happens to make beautiful music. Number 9 brings us to the accordion. The bellows create this weird bouncy surface that'll have you pinging around like a pinball. 1 second you're sliding smooth, the next you're getting launched sideways by a collapsing air chamber. Plus, every time you hit it, this thing's gonna wheeze out some unholy polka tune while you're screaming down its surface. It's less of a slide and more of a musical haunted house experience. At number 8, we've got the violin. Look, it's small, it's sleek, and it looks like it could work, but this is a classic case of false advertising. The violin is basically a tiny wooden speed bump with strings attached. You're not sliding anywhere on this thing unless you're the size of a hamster. Even then, those strings are going to catch you and fling you off faster than a medieval catapult. The only way this works is if you're sliding down it sideways, and even then you're looking at about half a second of slide time before you hit the ground. Number 7 takes us to the drums. Now we're talking about options, people. You've got the bass drum, which is essentially a giant circular slide, but here's the problem. It's hollow. You're not sliding down this thing, you're falling through it like Alice down the rabbit hole, except instead of Wonderland, you're landing in a pile of broken drumsticks and regret. The snare drum might work better, but it's basically a tiny trampoline that's gonna bounce you straight into orbit. Fun for about 2 seconds, then it's just physics taking revenge. Moving into number 6, the trumpet slides in with some serious potential. That long brass tube creates this beautiful curved pathway that looks like it was designed by someone who actually understood slide aerodynamics. The problem is the mouthpiece end. It's like sliding into a funnel that's way too excited to see you. You start smooth, pick up speed along that elegant curve, and then get compressed into a brass tube like you're being processed by a musical meat grinder. Still, points for style. Number 5 brings us something special, the trombone. This is where things get interesting because the trombone is basically a slide that happens to make music. That extended slide section gives you a nice long runway, and the curves are surprisingly forgiving. You've got multiple entry points depending on how brave you're feeling. The only downside is that landing zone. You're getting shot out of the bell end like a human cannonball, but honestly, that just adds to the experience. At number 4, we have the French horn. The coiled tubing creates this elegant corkscrew pathway that'll have you spinning down in style. The curves are engineered for optimal airflow, which translates surprisingly well to optimal human flow. You start at the top, spiral down through those gorgeous loops, and exit with enough style points to impress even the most judgmental orchestra conductor. Number 3 takes us to the saxophone. The S-curve design isn't just aesthetically pleasing, it's functionally brilliant. You get that initial steep drop from the mouthpiece, then smooth into a beautiful curved section that controls your speed perfectly. The alto sax gives you the best ride-to-size ratio, while the tenor sax offers more slide real estate for extended enjoyment. Just watch out for those keys. They're like speed bumps designed by someone with a very twisted sense of humor. Coming in at number 2, the tuba absolutely dominates with its sheer size and engineering excellence. This thing is basically a brass water slide that somebody forgot to add water to. You've got multiple entry points, those beautiful wide curves that can actually accommodate a human being. The bell at the bottom provides a perfect launch platform for maximum airtime. If the tuba wasn't so ridiculously heavy and impractical, this would easily be number 1. But speaking of number 1, let me give you a drum roll, please. The clear winner for the best instrument to slide on is the grand piano. I know, you're thinking this is cheating because it's not technically a wind or string instrument in the traditional sense, but hear me out. And the grand piano is literally designed like a slide. You've got that long, elegant, curved surface that's perfectly angled for optimal sliding. The lid creates this beautiful ramp that's just begging to be used as a slide. It's smooth, it's substantial, and it's been structurally tested to handle the weight of incredibly dramatic piano performances, so it can definitely handle you. You start at the keyboard end where you can even play a little tune before you commit to the slide. Then you transition onto that gorgeous curved lid surface, which provides the perfect combination of speed and control. The curve naturally guides you toward the tail end where you get launched off with maximum style. So there you have it, the definitive ranking of the top 10 instruments to slide on. From the surprisingly dangerous harp to the absolutely magnificent grand piano, we've covered the full spectrum of musical sliding possibilities. Remember, folks, just because you can slide on something doesn't mean you should. Now, if you enjoyed this instrument sliding, you absolutely need to check out my video on the top 10 musical instruments to use as snowboards. Trust me, if you thought sliding was fun, wait until you see what happens when we add gravity and winter weather to the mix. The results will either inspire you or terrify you, possibly both.